গিরিবরধারী যশোদানন্দন ব্রজজন রঞ্জন যশোদানন্দন ব্রজজন রঞ্জন যমুনা তীর বনচারী যমুনা তীর বনচারী জয় রাধা মাধব কুঞ্জ বিহারী জয় রাধা মাধব কুঞ্জ বিহারী হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে হরে জয় রাধা গিরিধারী রাধা গিরিধারী শ্রী রাধে জয় জগন্নাথ জয় বলদেব জয় সুভদ্রা জয় গৌরনিতাই 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 জয় গৌরনিতাই নিতাই গৌর হরি বল হরি বল হরি বল নিতাই গৌর হরি বল জয় জয় প্রভুপাদ 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 জয় জয় প্রভুপাদ হরে কৃষ্ণ মাতাজি
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Will the Prabhupada Lilamrita that we meant to read be on the screen?
Yes, Mataji, I'm sharing the screen. You can read from there. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Would somebody like to read? We can all take turns.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, I'm reading it. Hare Krishna, thank you. For 2 hours, Prabhupada, before that, it is chapter 2, volume 2, and the chapter 41, and the heading of the chapter is The Battle for Bombay. For 2 hours, Prabhupada talked with Mr. N, and by the end of the discussion, they had worked out a new sales agreement. Tamal Krishna and Shamsundara, working in a separate room, drafted and typed the documents, while Prabhupada and Mr. N settled the legal points. Then Mr. N signed the agreement, while his guru friend continued sleeping soundly. Later that day, Tamal Krishna confided to Srila Prabhupada, "I'm so disturbed by this dealing that I can't chant my rounds properly." "It is natural," Prabhupada replied. "Sometimes when I am disturbed, I also. But I can see that I am making spiritual advancement even so," Tamal Krishna admitted. Prabhupada nodded. "I used to think how to avoid difficult situations," Tamal Krishna said, "but now I think I should not run away from them." "Yes, Mr. Prabhupada said Prabhupada, "we should welcome this. They give us an opportunity to advance more." Shamsundara and Tamal Krishna Goswami flew back to Bombay with Mr. N that afternoon. According to the new terms, ISKCON would pay Mr. N 5 lakhs of rupees for the government tax, and in return, Mr. N would execute the deed. But that was also a new time limit, 3 weeks. and the devotees would have to work fast. Prabhupada himself would soon come to Bombay to settle the matter once and for all. Hare Krishna. I'm stopping here, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Will you be sharing the verse?
Yes, Mataji, I'm doing it.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So I think we're doing text 21 and text 22. Both of these are, they're both prose verses, so we won't chant them. I'll just read them and we can do the word for word. Na vai Bhagavan nunam anushya jagraha yad uta punar atmanusmriti moshanam maya maya bhugaishwaryam eva tanuteti. Na, not. Why, indeed. Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Nunam, certainly. Amushya, unto Bali Maharaj. Anujagraha, showed his favor. Yet, because. Uta, certainly. Punaha, again. Atma, anusmriti, of remembrance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Moshanam, which robs one. Maya, Maya, an attribute of Maya. Bhoga Ishwarya, the material opulence. Eva, certainly. Ata Nuta, extended. Iti, thus. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead did not award his mercy to Bali Maharaj by giving him material happiness and opulence. For these make one forget loving service to the Lord. Sorry, I'm reading text 22, but actually I'm meant to read text 21. Okay, let's go back. So it's text 21 first, sorry. Tad bhaktanam atmavatam sarvesham atmani atmada atmatayeva. Tat, that. Bhaktanam, of great devotees. Atmavatam, of self-realized persons like Sanak and Sanatan. Sarvesham, of all. Atmani, to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the soul. Atmade, who gives himself without hesitation. Atmataya, who is the Supreme Soul, Paramatma. Eva, indeed. Would someone like to read the translation and the purport?
Any of the devotees can please read out.
Hare Krishna, can I please read?
Please continue, Mataji.
Thank you. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is situated in everyone's heart as a super soul, sells himself to his devotees such as Narada Muni. In other words, the Lord gives pure love to such devotees and gives himself to those who love him purely. Great self-realized mystic yogis such as the four Kumaras also derive great transcendental bliss from realizing the super soul within themselves. Purport. The Lord became Bali Maharaj's doorkeeper not because of his giving everything to the Lord, but because of his exalted position as a lover of the Lord. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Sorry. Would someone like to read translation for text 22?
Hare Krishna Mataji, I can go for that. The Supreme Personality of Godhead did not award his mercy to Boli Maharaj by giving him material happiness and opulence, for these make one forget loving service to the Lord. The result of material opulence is that one can no longer absorb his mind in the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Would somebody else like to read the purport?
Hare Krishna Mataji, may I?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. There are two kinds of opulence. One, which results from one's karma, is material, whereas the other is spiritual. A surrendered soul who fully depends upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead does not want material opulence for sense gratification. Therefore, when a pure devotee is seen to possess exalted material opulence, it is not due to his karma. Rather, it is due to his bhakti. In other words, he is in that position because the Supreme Lord wants him to execute service to him very easily and opulently. The special mercy of the Lord for the neophyte devotee is that he becomes materially poor. This is the Lord's mercy, because if a neophyte devotee becomes materially opulent, he forgets the service of the Lord. However, if an advanced devotee is favored by the Lord with opulence, it is not material opulence, but a spiritual opportunity. Material opulence offered to the demigods causes forgetfulness of the Lord, but opulence was given to Bali Maharaj for continuing service to the Lord, which was free from any touch of Maya. Thank you, Mataji. Dandavat Pranam. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. Jai. Okay. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmalitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhyo Evacha, Patitanam Pamanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. Okay, so this section here, these verses and these verses that we read today, and also a few previous verses, they are actually glorifying the devotional service of Bali Maharaj, and they're glorifying the devotional service of Bali Maharaj, and they're also glorifying pure devotional service. So it's very, very nectar to read. Actually, on Sunday, Devamrita Maharaj, he was giving a class on maybe I think 2 verses back at the temple on this topic, and it was so nectar. I highly encourage everybody, if you can find the class on YouTube and listen to it. It's very, very inspiring. It really inspires us to go ahead to refine the quality of our bhakti, of our offering to Krishna. So his class was amazing, really. So actually, after listening to his, so I had just done a little bit of preparation about what I'm going to say, but after listening to his class, I changed it quite a fair bit. So I think I'm going to repeat a lot of what Maharaj said on Sunday, because you just can't hear it enough. You just can't hear the standard of pure devotional service enough. Okay, so as I was saying, that these verses, they explain the mercy that Bali Maharaj received from the Lord as a result of his surrender. So as we know that Bali Maharaj, he is one of the 12 Mahajans. Can somebody list the other Mahajans that we have? So Bali Maharaj is one of them. Can somebody give the names of some of the other Mahajans, and somebody can list the others?
Hare Krishna Mataji, there is a verse in Srimad Bhagavatam that lists all of them. And
Yes.
it starts with Swayambhu Narada Shambhu, Prahlad, Kumara Kapila Manu, Prahlada Janaka Visho, Boya Shokirvaya. That means, that is, it starts with Brahma, and then Swayambhu, Narad, and then Lord Shiva, and 4 Kumaras. Then Prahlad Maharaj, and Kapil Bhagavan, and Manu Maharaj, and then Janak Maharaj, and then the Prahlad Maharaj, and Prahlad, Janak Maharaj, and then Janak, and then Jamraj, and the other is rest, Shukdev Goswami.
Yeah, nice. Wow. Prabhu, you have such good knowledge of the Shastra. You know the verse itself. That's amazing. Yeah, so these are our 12 Mahajans. And if we see in text 21, we see that 2 of our Mahajans were referred to. So the 4 Kumaras and Narad Muni, they were referred to. And then, of course, this conversation is about Bali Maharaj. So Bali Maharaj is one of the 12 Mahajans. And through him, the Lord is teaching us how to apply one of the 9 processes of bhakti. Can somebody tell me which is that process that Bali Maharaj is exemplifying?
Surrender, Mataji.
Yes, yeah. So Thank you. So Bali Maharaj is exemplifying the ninth process, the most difficult one, which is Atmanivedanam, complete surrender. So Bali Maharaj is showing that how to achieve perfection in bhakti through complete surrender. And actually, this is the reason why Lord Vamanadev, he put him through such a hard test, because he actually wanted to glorify the devotional service of Bali Maharaj. He wanted to glorify the complete surrender of Bali Maharaj. So I find that this whole pastime, especially we go in so much detail in the eighth canto, is a great lesson in wealth management or in asset management. So um, it's like when we all are living in the material world. Unless we are complete Goswamis, we all worry about our finances, and we all, if we don't have enough money, then we think, okay, all right, we need to get some more money so that we can be financially stable. And if we have enough money, or if we have some surplus, then we think, okay, let me invest this money properly. But in order to manage our wealth properly, it is very important to actually first have a clear and correct understanding of what is wealth, right? A person who has some knowledge of finances will know what real wealth is, that what should be invested, where it should be invested, for how long it should be invested, how much risk can we take. Different individuals, they have different risk appetites. But the most important thing is to understand actually what is wealth? What is it that is worth investing? Like, for example, if you have a car, which is very old and it's very old, and every 3 months you have to get a woof for it, you probably won't invest in that car because it's just a depreciating asset. It's a sunk cost. There's no point in investing there. So a wise person first sees actually what is my wealth. So for a devotee's real wealth is bhakti, right? We all want to aspire for the wealth of bhakti because we know that other wealth in this world, it comes and goes. We all know it's very temporary, and it doesn't actually satisfy the heart. And even though we may have a lot of material prosperity, we may have those four disqualifications. We may have good beauty, we may have aristocracy, education. What's the fourth one? Beauty, education, aristocracy, Janma Aishwarya, somebody, and good wealth. Yeah, Shri. Yeah. So we may have all these four, but in time of need, when we need these four, they actually can't help us. Finally, what can only help us is our bhakti assets. Finally, what really comes to our help is Krishna and the holy name. So, people may have big bank balances, they may have big investments, but when in time of need, nothing comes to help. Rakhe Krishna Mare Krishna Rakhe. So if Krishna wants you to go through some suffering, all your assets in the bank are not going to be of any use. And if Krishna wants you to be happy, you may be as poor as a pauper and you will be happy and satisfied. So that's why our real wealth is devotional service. So now I just like devotees who are able to share that what according to you is the wealth that you have. What is the bhakti wealth that you have? So please share. So maybe I can start. So for me, I feel that, of course, how much ever we have, we never feel that we have enough. But I feel the bhakti wealth that I have is somehow, by the mercy of the devotees, I'm able to take some dedicated time out every day for reading Shastra. And somehow, once again, by the mercy of the devotees, I have god sisters. I have god sisters who, I have association that I can read. I can read with devotees every day, and that for me is my biggest bhakti wealth, is my biggest asset. So if devotees can just please share what sort of bhakti wealth they have, it will inspire everybody. Come on, everybody here is so rich. Please share.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Yeah, as you mentioned, I think the association devotees is the biggest love for me. There's such wonderful God brothers and devotees whom I can always rely on clarifying any doubts or just reading Srila Prabhupada books.
Mm.
And one of the best instruction my spiritual master gave me when you go to New Zealand, just associate with devotee, don't deep association.
Wow.
So I think that was my most valuable bhakti asset. Thank you, Maharaj.
Jai, Jai. Yeah, honestly, we are so fortunate to have the association of the servants of Lord Chaitanya. Without that, life is dead. Really, there's no point in existing without the association of devotees. But please, somebody else like to share as well. Well, so many of you are online. I would definitely say Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. I think that during our course of life, if you're not a devotee from the beginning, you've been learning some skills, and now after you joined Krishna conscious movement, you can invest your skills as like, for example, cooking or doing some technical support or anything. That this material knowledge turns into some valuable
Yes.
assets that can take you closer to Krishna with your service. Haribol.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, that's amazing. That's such a good point. Yeah, that any material skills that we have, if we are able to engage them in bhakti, then that really, I mean, they're not material anymore because they become spiritualized. An example comes to my mind is my wonderful, wonderful god sister, Jiva Shakti. So she's a lawyer. So she's a lawyer in her past life, and yeah, she has a lot of experience. And now, like, she's helping so many devotees. She's helping she's helping ISKCON. She's helping the Loft. So many devotees, if we're able to use our material skills in Krishna service, then that's quite an asset. I remember I was at Bhakti Lounge and somebody asked this question that how can, that we have material skills, how can I use this in Krishna service? And then Devamrita Maharaj, she replied that, well, unless you're an ice skater, you can practically use everything in Krishna service. So this principle of Yukta Vairagya. Yeah, so it's amazing that if you're able to use our wealth in Krishna service, that's amazing. Thank you. Please, somebody else also. Be nice to have at least 5. We've had 2. Please, at least 3 more. There are 17 devotees here.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
I think we'd be thankful for whatever time Krishna gives us every day, whether it's for chanting or any other activities. Whatever time is there, I think that's the greatest wealth Krishna is giving.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, and that's a point that I will come to later on, that if we're able to take out any time, any time, life is so busy. So whatever time Krishna gives us that we can use in his service is amazing. Yeah. It brings to my mind this pastime from Krishna book, and I'm sure we all have experience of this as well in our personal lives. So time, as we know, that time is an energy of Krishna. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, time I am. So time is an energy of Krishna. And how we use our time, if we are able to use our time in a very productive way, in a very efficient way, and not waste our time, and use, whatever pockets of time we have in Krishna's service, then that is totally Krishna's mercy. So the more our hearing and chanting is sharper, the more we are able to use the time that we have in Krishna service, and the more we can do more. So the best example is Srila Prabhupada, that he had such little time, but he achieved so much in that time. So time is an energy of Krishna, and really to be able, so we are often complaining, oh, I wish that I had 48 hours in a day. And I'm always complaining, I wish I had more time in the day, so I can do more service. I'd like to do this, I'd like to do that. But the problem is not that we don't have enough time. The problem is that our mind is so distracted. So when the mind is focused, even with a very short amount of time, we can achieve so much. So how much we can achieve in Krishna's service with the time that we have at our disposal is totally Krishna's mercy, you know. Um, what is 7:14? Mameva ye prapadyante maya metam tarantite. So time is, you know, it's Krishna's energy. And the pastime that comes to my mind is the Rasa Leela, that although it was one night, but Krishna expanded that experience of one night to be Brahma's one night for the gopis. And similarly, you know, so many times when we're doing some service, like although it feels like, oh my gosh, so that was just 1 hour, but you feel like, wow, that I feel like, you know, that I've been reading for so long, or that I've been chanting for so many hours. Yeah, and another experience, I was once listening to a podcast by a devotee in the UK, and this was during the Prabhupada Marathon. So this devotee was saying that this particular marathon, he was very busy with managerial services, so he could not go out so much on books. So he only got to go out for 30 minutes in the whole marathon. But he said that Krishna gave him the experience of 31 days, 8 hours a day in that 30 minutes. So how we use our time and what experience we have of the time that, you know, of the time that's for us, and what service we can render to Krishna in that time is so much, is completely on Krishna's mercy. And so we really have to beg, you know, that Krishna, I only have 30 minutes to serve you today, you know, to engage in direct service. Please let me make the best offering. So that's such a good point about time. Thank you so much for sharing. Two more, please.
Good health, Mataji. I would say good health is my biggest asset. If we don't have good health, then we can't do any of the angas of bhakti.
Yeah,
That's my
yeah,
health.
that's definitely true. That's definitely true. Prabhupada says, you know, health comes first. Health comes first, yeah. And if we have good health, we can do so much. I've just recently gone through an experience where I didn't have good health for some time. And really, my biggest realization was use it before you lose it, because you can lose it anytime. Really, anytime, any moment, next moment, you can lose it. So my left arm was just completely out of action for quite some time. Quite some time, meaning, yeah, like for 1.5 months or so. But honestly, I felt that I'm not going to be able to use it again. And my biggest, the two things, the two things that I regretted the most was not carrying enough books in my left hand, was not going enough on Sankirtan, because I was like, now, how am I going to do Sankirtan with one hand? How am I just going to hold books in one hand and stop people? And I always had this thing, you know, oh, I don't want to hold too many books in my left hand, then my shoulder becomes sore. And during this time, I was like, geez, now I can't even use my hand. How am I going to hold any books? So use it before you lose it. And then the second thing I was thinking, that whenever there is kirtan, I have to go Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Use both your hands, use them before you lose them in Krishna's service. Use it before you lose it, because you lose it anytime. But also in this time, I would just like to say that that finally there is no impediment to bhakti. You know, even though we may have very bad health and we may not be able to do anything physically, we can really beg for Krishna's mercy, and we can inspire others to do the same. We can inspire others to serve Krishna. So we may have desires, I want to serve Krishna like this, I want to serve Krishna like that. But if we don't have the physical ability to do it, we can inspire others to do it. And if our desire is strong, and if our desire is pure, and yeah, if our desire is pure, if we don't have this thing that I want to take the credit for this, I want to be the doer, then actually we can inspire others to achieve the same thing that we want to, and even more. And we see this in the life of Srila Prabhupada. And we see this in Krishna. You know, Krishna, he gives Krishna can do everything by himself, but he wants the devotees to do these things. He empowers others. He empowers his devotees to do these things, and then he glorifies them for doing it. So, we may be in a situation where we may feel, oh, I don't have the health to do this. I don't have the strength to do this. I don't have the money to do this. I don't have the time to do this. But honestly, what really, really matters is the intensity of our desire and the purity of our desire. If we have, if we have this desire, Krishna, I want to please you. Krishna, I want to serve you, and I want to do this for your service. Please, please give me what I need. Krishna will 100% give you what you need. 100%. Thank you so much. And actually, I would like to let me bring this book. Okay, so I was in Vrindavan and I was at Matchless Gifts, this bookshop in Krishna Balaram Mandir, and I saw this book, Twice as Bright. This is the devotee. And I didn't actually know about her, neither did I know about this book. But I just read the back cover, and this is her journal. And she's going through a very, very, very hard time in her life. She's terminally ill. And yeah, because I was also quite sick when I was in Vrindavan, and so I thought I wanted some inspiration, and so I thought, let me read this book, and it's next level. Yeah, if you get your hands on it, please read it. Definitely, it's so inspiring. It just really shows us that there's no impediment in bhakti. Yeah. So we need one more now. So we've got health, we've got devotee association, we've
Mataji,
got time. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, what I think is we are very, very fortunate to have a good darshan of Lord and offer our services to the Lord. I recently was in India and I had pilgrimage in South India. I mean, the problem there is, we are waiting in a long queues, waiting
Yeah.
for a long time to see the Lord deities darshan. And when you reach to the front, you only get a fraction of section to see the darshan.
Yeah.
So, which is definitely appreciated that we get a open darshan of Krishna and we can do a proper service to Krishna
Yeah.
here. That's it, my experience. Thank you, Mataji.
I 100% agree. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's really nice to go to the dham, but when you get pushed around, I'm like, wow, New Varshan, there's so much space, and you can just stand freely and you don't get pushed around, and you can just look at the deities, just have darshan nicely. Yeah. Thank you so much. So these are our so we all have some wealth, bhakti wealth, and we should really really cherish it and use it in Krishna's service. So the next thing that I wanted to say was that we all have, I'm sure all of us, most of us. Oh, Prabhu says he has some extra copies, Nanda Brush Prabhu. Oh wow, yeah. If you do, please get your hands on it. It's such a good book. So most of us, I'm sure we have an app for the bank on our phone. So I'm with ANZ. I have an ANZ app on my phone. It's called as Go Money. So we all have our bank apps on our phone, and every now and then we go into our accounts and we check, okay, how are the balances looking? So if the balance is too low, or if the balance is too low, or if it's gone into overdraft, then we get anxious, right? Oh my gosh, how am I going to meet these bills? It gives us so much anxiety. So similarly, we should also very regularly check our devotional service account, right? We're talking here about wealth management. So the way we check our material wealth accounts, how our investments are returning, how everything is doing, we should also regularly check and introspect. Okay, how is my devotional service account doing? Is it running low? And then just as in our bank, we can create these like in one account, you can have multiple suffixes, 000102. So you have one account for your daily expenses, one account for like long-term savings, one account for petrol, one account for this, one account for that. So similar, and it's like every week, or as soon as the income comes, this is how my husband does it. As soon as the income comes, he immediately puts some money in this account, some money here, some money here, some money here, just segregating the expenses. So we have different accounts, and then we have dollars in each. So similarly, in our Krishna account, we can have different like for each one of us, this is going to be different. We can have different suffixes. So for me, my different Krishna accounts are like I have a reading account, I have a chanting account, then I have an account for devotions, for association with devotees, then I have an account for service, then an account for Sankirtan, then an account for Dham Yatra, then an account for Kirtan. So there are so many accounts that we can have. And we should regularly check, okay, that how are my accounts doing? Are my accounts topped up or not? Because some devotees, depending on what our nature is, maybe it's just enough for you to have one account. But for someone like me, I need to have a few accounts and they all need to be topped up. Otherwise, I don't feel enlivened in my service. I like a lot of variety. I think that's a big part of female nature. But yeah, so most people have especially if you're from an Indian background, we all have our weekly saving goals or monthly saving goals, and every week that money gets put aside. So similarly, we should have goals for our different Krishna accounts. My Guru Maharaj always says that you should have a habit tracker, and you should track. Okay, today I woke up at this time and I chanted all my 16 rounds by this time. I read for this much time today. I did so much service today. Because what gets measured gets improved. If we don't measure it, it doesn't get improved. So we should have a track. Okay, how are my different devotional accounts going? Are there enough dollars in there? And a prime example of this is Ambarish Maharaj. We see that from the past time we hear that how he engages all his senses in Krishna service, all of them, his eyes to have darshan of the deities, the ears to hear about the deities, then his words to glorify Krishna and his pastimes, his heart, he engages all his desires in fulfilling Krishna's desires, his body to embrace the devotees. So like that, Ambarish Maharaj is the prime example of having all our Krishna accounts topped up. So if we keep this our focus, that, okay, I have so many Krishna accounts and I want to keep these accounts topped up. If that's our focus, yes, so many other activities are happening. But if this is our focus, then we don't feel so much the pangs of material existence. We don't feel the pangs of material desire so much. Yeah. Otherwise, if these accounts are running low, then we really, then we hear the knocks of Maya. They get louder and louder. Yeah. But if our accounts are nicely topped up, then the knock becomes faint and you can ignore it. But now the thing is that, some of us, like life in the material world is quite hard. So you don't make much money these days. So these days people are money poor, dollar poor, people are time poor, and we are also focus poor. So we may not be in a situation that we can have all our accounts nicely topped up. That may just not be possible. So then in that case, we have to see that we need to prioritize, okay, that I only have so much time in my life, but no matter what, these top two accounts, I will always keep topped up. So like for me, those accounts are, of course, my chanting and then reading. Because if I don't have good association, if I don't have good reading, then my chanting goes down. My quality of chanting goes down. And then my third one is Sankirtan. Yeah, because chanting Hare Krishna becomes easier when you follow the instructions of Lord Chaitanya. So whatever wealth we have, how are we doing for time? Okay, we have time. So whatever wealth we have, our focus should be to use everything in Krishna's service, and have a strong desire to increase our spiritual wealth, so that we can serve Krishna better. A non-devotee will endeavor to increase their material wealth so that they can enjoy more. But what happens in the process is that in the process of increasing their wealth, they get more and more entangled. They exploit others. They create inauspiciousness for themselves and for the world. And when they do get that more wealth, by using that wealth in in a sinful way, because anything that is not engaged in Krishna service is sinful. So by using their wealth in a sinful way, they get more and more, and they get more implicated. And the knot, the knot of material existence, it becomes tighter and tighter for a non-devotee. But for a devotee wants to increase his bhakti wealth so that he can become purified. By engaging in hearing and chanting, our bhakti wealth increases. And the more we become purified, the more we have this wealth of bhakti, then we can become better servants of Krishna. So as a devotee endeavors to increase his bhakti wealth, his life becomes more auspicious, and the devotee actually creates auspiciousness for for the people around him, for his environment. Sometimes we may think that sometimes, Maya can push us in a hole. Oh, you don't have any time. Where is this going? Where is your spiritual life going? You're just sitting here, just somehow or the other, managing to chant your rounds. It's so late at night. You barely have any time to do any service. You're so tired. What difference is this making? But actually, one devotee chanting Hare Krishna is changing the planet. Honestly, you may not feel like it, but it really is. It really is. Chanting Hare Krishna, the holy name is so powerful. Putting out that sound vibration is making a huge difference in the atmosphere, is making a huge difference to the planet. That is actually what it means that Lord Chaitanya, he came and he plundered the storehouse of love of God. So one devotee chanting Hare Krishna is creating cosmic waves. And just imagine, so many devotees right now are chanting Hare Krishna on this planet. And the universe is getting flooded with the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So we should never ever think, that, oh, what is the use of my chanting Hare Krishna? No, there's a lot of we have no idea how much auspiciousness chanting Hare Krishna is creating for us and is creating for others, really. So when we endeavor to increase our spiritual wealth, we are loosening our knot to material existence. I think a few years back, Kiwi Saver, I don't know if it was with a particular bank or what it was, but Kiwi Saver had this feature that you put I think the government was doing this, that the banker told me that if I put $500 in Kiwi Saver, then the government will match that account. So similarly, when we are trying to increase our bhakti wealth, Krishna, he is waiting in the heart, he is not sitting idle in the heart. So Krishna reciprocates by cleaning our hearts of material conceptions. That's the first thing that Krishna does. We hear that in the Bhagavatam. Shinmatam Swakatha Krishna Punya. Anybody knows? Shinmatam Swakatha Krishna Punya Shavana Kirtana Hridyantasto Hi Bhadrani Vidunoti Suritsatam. So Krishna is cleaning the heart. So as we are investing in bhakti, Krishna is cleaning our heart. And what is he cleaning our heart of? Abhadrani. I am this body and my happiness comes from this body. So Krishna is clearing that. No, you are not this body. You are my eternal part and parcel. Gopi Bhartu Pada Kamalayor Das Das Anudas. That is what our position is. And we are very happy in that position. So Krishna is cleaning. That's the first thing that Krishna does. Second, Krishna gives us intelligence on how to serve him. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mamupayanti te. To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give them the understanding by which they can come to me. So Krishna gives us that intelligence. Okay, this is how you can serve me, to come closer to me. And then the third thing, which is what we're seeing in this pastime, is that Krishna arranges life situations to bring us closer to him. So you see Lord Krishna as Lord Vamanadev, he arranged this whole situation to come closer to Bali Maharaj. And when we were reading Prabhupada's Prabhupada Lilamrita, Tamal Krishna Maharaj says, I don't think I should run away from hard situations anymore. And then Prabhupada says, no, we shouldn't run away from them. They're good for us. So hard situations are good for us, because when we are in a hard situation, we remember Krishna. And often, we fear going through a hard situation because we feel that I will not be able to handle it. But actually, Krishna gives us the strength to go through these hard situations. My Guru Maharaj, he made such a nice point on Sunday. So he was in this pastime of Bali Maharaj. He said, he said that Vamanadev said to Bali Maharaj that you didn't keep your promise, you didn't give me the third piece of land, and you disobeyed your spiritual master. So you will go to hell, but I will go with you. I mean, how sweet is that? Like Krishna goes everywhere with us. So Krishna gives us the strength to endure whatever he's putting us through. And going through that, you come so much closer to Krishna. It's 100% worth it. Yeah. So from the outside, it's like, oh my gosh, how am I going to deal with this? But actually, Krishna deals with it. Yeah. And in the process, you come closer. So so that's why so let's not evaluate Krishna's kindness upon us based on our material situation. Materially we may be in a good situation or we may be in a bad situation, but our purpose is to use everything that we have in Krishna's service. Whatever it is, we just use it in Krishna's service. And don't judge, don't try to evaluate that, oh, Krishna is not merciful to me, I'm in this situation. Oh, Krishna is so merciful to me, I'm in this situation, I have some material wealth. No, actually, Krishna is always merciful. Krishna is always merciful. And Krishna doesn't give, Krishna knows what is, Krishna knows, my Guru Maharaj says this, Krishna knows how to bring out the best love in everybody. So for some persons, Krishna doesn't give doesn't give material comfort. So, for example, Krishna is keeping me in this in this apartment in CBD because he knows in this tiny matchbox apartment in CBD. Because if he knows if he puts me in a nice, comfortable place by the beach, I'm never going to get out of the house. I'm never going to go on Sankirtan. I'm not going to come to the loft to my services. I will be fully in Maya. So therefore, Krishna is just keeping me in this matchbox. For 2 years we've been trying to find an apartment to move to, but it's just not happening. We're just not finding anything. So Krishna doesn't give material pleasure to a devotee if he knows that this devotee is going to get sidetracked. And why would Krishna want us to get sidetracked? So Krishna is doing the best thing for us. If he knows that giving us material pleasure is going to be an obstacle for us, then he is not going to give us that. There's that famous verse where Krishna says that his devotee may be foolish and the devotee may ask him for the poison of material enjoyment. But I'm not foolish, so why should I give him material enjoyment? I'm not going to give him material enjoyment. I'm going to reciprocate with him in such a way that the devotee is not going to ask for that anymore. So Krishna knows what to give us best. And if Krishna sees that actually this devotee, he is not going to get sidetracked, so I can give him all the opulence so that he can serve me nicely. So Krishna will do that. As we see in the case of Bali Maharaj, Bali Maharaj got the opulence of more than Indra. And Vamana Dev became his doorkeeper. So that's pretty cool, isn't it? Okay, and now is the last. I'm ending this. So a surrendered, as we're reading in this purport, that a surrendered soul wants to give everything to Krishna. So we read in the purport that Vamana Dev didn't become the doorkeeper of Bali Maharaj because Bali Maharaj gave him, 2 steps of land. Not because of that, but because of his full surrender, because of the exalted love that Bali Maharaj had for Vamana Dev. Now, Bali Maharaj did not have this intention in mind. Okay, if I give this to Lord Vamana Dev, then I will get something in return. Bali Maharaj didn't want anything in return. He didn't have this vanik mentality, this mercantile mentality that I'm going to get some benefit from this. He didn't have that. My Guru Maharaj was explaining this on Sunday so beautifully. If you can listen to the lecture, please do. So my Guru Maharaj was saying that Bali Maharaj's attitude was whatever Krishna wants, however he wants it. Yes, and so because of that attitude, Bali Maharaj, because of that attitude, Vamanadev, he sold himself to Bali Maharaj. As we read in this purport, the specific word in the specific Sanskrit is Atmade. Krishna gives himself without hesitation. Without hesitation, Krishna gives himself to such devotees who are fully surrendered, who just want to serve Krishna for Krishna's satisfaction. They don't want anything in return. So Bali Maharaj had his priorities right. And when the opportunity came, he chose to sacrifice his personal comfort for Krishna's satisfaction. So all of us, we have the same opportunity as Bali Maharaj did. Because as a devotee earlier pointed very beautifully, that the biggest asset that we have is time. Yeah, so all of us, so Krishna comes in our life as time. Each second, each day, each week, each month, each year, we have an opportunity to choose Krishna. That how am I going to serve Krishna? And of course, until we are fully Krishna conscious, it may not be possible for us to, make the right choice every time. But if we make a few right choices, choosing Krishna's satisfaction over our personal comfort, then Krishna helps us to make a few more right choices. And then we make a few more right choices. Then Krishna helps us to make a few more right choices. And then like that, it builds up, builds up, builds up. The bank account builds up, builds up, builds up, builds up. So every right choice that we make helps us to make, Krishna helps us to make another right choice, another right choice. So builds up, builds up, builds up, builds up. And slowly, slowly we come to the platform of Ahaituki Apratihata. Just completely giving our heart to Krishna. So yeah. So what we can do is, what is in our part is that we can try our best. That whatever right choices I can make, for whatever moments we are, just speaking for myself, most of the day I'm not aware. I'm just so much in Maya. But a few moments of the day, Krishna gives me the awareness. Okay, you have the choice here. You can choose whether you want to serve me or, whether you just want to do what your mind wants to do. So yeah, I just pray to Krishna that please give me more of those moments where I'm aware of this, that actually I have the choice, that let me sacrifice for your comfort. Yeah. So that's what I had to say. I've really babbled on and on and on so much. Hare Krishna. So I'd like to stop there. And yeah, devotees, please share your comments, your realizations.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, me again. My realization from your lecture today and Devamrita Maharaj's lecture was that surrender is such a key thing, that we got used to our ego dictates us according to our material life experience, that we should be controlling, and we know what are the key factors of our success in life, like we got to do this, we got to have a good grip on things. And when you surrender, when you, as I said, you can, when you know that Krishna always wishes
I
the
think we
best.
lost you, Mataji.
Can you hear me?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji, you can
Oh,
hear
we
me.
lost her.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So can you hear me now, Mataji? I think the Mataji. Yeah. Dear devotees, can you hear me, or
Yeah,
who is
yes, we
lost?
can hear you, Mataji. I think
Okay, so I'm not lost, but yeah,
maybe the
Mataji's
Mataji's
got
internet
losing.
connection showing a bit weak, and it may be
Yeah,
because of that.
right. Okay. So yeah, so my reflection was that we should let this grip go, our basic like animal instinct to grip on things and not let them go, and just surrender to Krishna and let this grip go. And when you know that Krishna only wishes the best, then you know that even you lose things, that it's for the good for you if you surrender to Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. I don't know what happened, but I got disconnected and then I got connected back in. So I totally lost I totally lost what you said.
Yeah. So my idea was that we have this from the birth. We have one of the basic instincts to grip something and hold on it, right? And when you surrender to Krishna, you eventually learn to lose your grip and let it go. If you
Yeah.
surrender to Krishna and you know that Krishna wishes the best for you, that it's one of the key factors that give you more calmness and happiness, when you know that if you lose something and you surrender to Krishna and Krishna wishes the best, that it's only for good for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Jai, thank you so much. That's our life in bhakti, learning to trust Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, thank you very much. Very nice class today. And particularly a few things you just touched my mind on. First one is told about the repetition of what Devamrita Maharaj told the other day. But we are very pleased to hear the repetition of the nectarian pastimes of the Lord. It is always enchanting for a devotee to hear the pastimes of the Lord, and doesn't matter who says it and how many times we hear it. That is the one thing. The second one you told about that very important And my Guru Maharaj also stressed very much importance on that. To measuring the way of our devotional service every day, he has given us a chart to see, to follow every day.
Wow.
So we follow it, and he says that there is always, I mean, it is a very dynamic thing. So unless you measure it,
Mm.
you should measure it. He has told us to measure it every an Ekadashi day in particular.
Oh,
So,
nice.
to
Nice.
that, to what extent we are then, because if we are not advancing, then the inevitable conclusion, then we are receding. If we are not advancing, because
Yeah.
it is not static there, you
It's not
cannot remain
static.
static. And the third thing is that Krishna's mercy, if we serve the Lord seriously
Mm.
from the core of our heart,
Mm.
Krishna is so reciprocative. It is
Mm.
not just as he has told in 4:11 that Jai Yathamam Prabodhitavam Tataiva Bhajamho. But the Lord is even merciful, even more than that. Particularly in Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is a verse, I think it is Antolila. Antolila. And I remember the verse. It says that Ishwar Boishishtoi Bhakter Naloy Aparad Alpo Seba Bahu Mane Atma Porjant Prasad. That means the Lord is so, one of the characteristic features of the Lord is that he never considers the weakness of his devotee.
Yeah.
Whatever little a devotee has done, the Lord considers a great service.
Mm.
And not only that, and ultimately, when he can give himself to the devotee.
Yeah.
So we should not, we should not, we should give our best, in other words, to the Lord, and with the firm faith, the Lord will reciprocate it. And we should have no doubt, if we follow the instruction of our spiritual master and give our best, whatever little we have,
Yeah.
the Lord will give,
Yeah.
will not take his mercy from us.
Yeah.
With that belief, if we serve the Lord,
Mm.
we will be successful one day by the blessing of our spiritual master, the Vaishnavas, and ultimately the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. It brings to mind this nectar of devotion, Krishna's qualities. So one quality of Krishna is that he is grateful. And I remember, I think my Guru Maharaj was saying that Draupadi, when she calls out Govinda, like Krishna is thinking about it for such a long time, that how am I going to reciprocate this, this call of. So yeah, and also the other point I was thinking when you made the point about that how your spiritual master asks you to track. What I wanted to mention was that this is also the example set by the Goswamis. Um, it's gone from the Shad Goswami Ashtakam. Sankhya Purvaka Nama Nana Gati Bhi. So they would count their sadhana. There's a devotee is asking something on chat. How do I access the chat? Okay, here, chat. Hare Krishna Madhavi, how do we know we are serving from the heart or from the ego? I'm trying to gauge whether my service is sincere or not. Oh, that's such a nice question. How do we know when we are serving from the heart or from the ego? I'm trying to gauge whether my service is sincere or not. But your service, so basically, whenever we try to serve Krishna, Maya makes sure that she puts a lot of impediments in the way. And all these impediments, they're attacking our material mind. So for example, we may be trying to do some service and we may not get the reciprocation that we want. Things may become very hard. Things may not go our way. Devotees may not appreciate us. Devotees may create impediments for us. Our own mind may go against us, but if we take proper guidance and if we have been given an instruction, then do this. Then there's this beautiful verse from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 14, text 26. I really need to revise my shlokas. One who renders unflinching devotional service, one who renders devotional service unfailingly in all circumstances, at once transcends the modes of material nature and comes to the level of Brahman. So when we are doing our service, we try our best to stick to it. So stick to it. That's the principle. My Guru Maharaj says, stick to it, no matter what's happening, then you know that you're doing it sincerely. And Krishna can see that this devotee is trying. This devotee is trying their best. So, for example, each one of us in the course of doing our service, we face challenges. So, for example, I can say, my my most glorious God sister, the Munjaranya Devi Dasi, for years and years and years, she goes daily on Queen Street with her book walks, and doing books on Queen Street daily is not a cakewalk. And she comes and she tells me it's not easy. It's not easy, But despite all the challenges, no matter what the mind is saying, no matter what the body is saying, no matter what the weather is doing, no matter how people are abusing you on the street, no matter what the book score is, she's going. She's doing her part, and that is sincerity. Like, for example, myself, when I'm doing my service, there's so many misunderstandings with devotees, so much miscommunication, So, yeah, like management is, devotees who do management, they know it's not easy. It's not easy. From the outside, it just looks like, okay, you're just bossing people around. But really, like every third day, I have to question myself, why am I doing this service? Yeah, but so challenges will come in our service. You do some service and you think you did a great job, but nobody else thinks so. So, that can be quite discouraging, right? But you still have to go on with your service. Because the most important thing to know is that actually Krishna is seeing your effort. Krishna is watching your effort. So if you've tried your best under guidance, then you know that you're being sincere and you stick to it and keep it on. That would be my answer. Would somebody else like to add to that?
Lord Krishna Mataji, I think the similar things, exactly the same question was one of my god brother asked my Guru Maharaj about that, and he was engaged in book distribution, and he was feeling stress. As you know, the people faces a lot of stress. Approaching people, they're not being done. I mean, they are not being behaved properly sometimes, and all that. And he went to our Guru Maharaj and told that I feel very stressed and all that. And so I'm not serving the Lord properly. That was his conclusion. He went to the Guru Maharaj, and Guru Maharaj told him, so you are giving your best. So Krishna is happy with that. So whatever stress you are getting, that is for service to the Lord. So you should, because Krishna is happy, you should not be worried about your personal problem. And when a person engages in such activities and feels the pain, doing things for Krishna and pain is itself a very glorious thing for a devotee.
Yes. Yeah.
So this is exactly what you repeated. So thank you. I think the situation was like that.
Yeah, and I would like to add on another point based on your comment. Banu Maharaj, in his home program at Nalinikant Prabhu's home, answered this question. Somebody asked this question about japa, about attentive chanting. And Maharaj said, that if you are at the stage of anartha nivriti, you can't expect to have the attention of someone who's at prema. So if you're at the stage of anartha nivriti, or whatever, whatever stage we are at, that is how we are going to act. So how Maharaj answered is that if you're at the stage of anartha nivriti, don't be disappointed if you're not listening to every mantra, because you will not be able to, because you're not at the stage of prema. But what inattention means at that stage is trying to ensure that all your circumstance is doing your best to be as attentive as possible, doing that service to the best of your ability. So, for example, making sure that you've slept well. Your environment is nice and clean. You have a sacred spot at home. It's early in the morning. Yeah, so it's doing it's doing our best. Yeah, and then we can act from where we are at. And then I did my best. Yeah. And honestly, so many times I tell you that we're just so mental that I'm not doing my service properly, or I'm not doing it, I'm not doing this, and I'm not doing that. But as long as we're doing our best, Lord Chaitanya's mercy is causeless. We don't take it for granted, but what I'm saying is if we do our best, rest assured, yeah, Lord Chaitanya is extremely merciful. His mercy is causeless. Yeah. Okay, I think we should end there. It's 8:35. I'd really deeply like to thank all the devotees who are here, and please thank you so much for sharing your realizations. That really amplified the conversation. Otherwise, this class would have finished at 8 a.m. itself. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय।
His Grace Munjaranya Mataji ki jai.
की जय।
Prabhupada
Thank you,
ki
sir.
jai.
Jai.
Gaur Premanande Hari
Hari Hari Hari
Thank you very
Bol.
much. Thank
Hari
you. Hare Krishna.